Tired of using Rocky Linux 8? Is Rocky Linux 9 calling your name but you don't want to do a fresh install? In one of my previous videos, we migrated from CentOS 7 all the way to Rocky Linux 8.9. Now, we're going to take that same system from 8.9 to 9.4. This is B from Tay Talk Tech, and today I'm going to show you how to upgrade from Rocky Linux 8 to 9. So stick around. I have a favor to ask. If you like this type of video and want to see more content like it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications. Also, don't forget to give this video a like if you like it. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, or if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or emotional outbursts down in the comments below. And lastly, make sure you stick around all the way to the end to get the most out of this video. Let's do this thing. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and shrink my face down here. I'm having to re-record this video because last time I recorded it, all you got was my face and nothing from the desktop, so I know that's not what you guys come for, is my face. So there we go. Go ahead and get this down here. All right, perfect. We've got that down there. All right, so I want to go ahead and let you know that we are going to be upgrading from Linux 8.9 to 9.4, but I want to encourage you to back up your system if you have not already done so. Make sure that you not only back up the files, but also the configurations and all that good stuff to make sure that everything's going to be the way that you're going to need it to be once you actually get upgraded. I'm not going to be covering that in this video, but I'll probably cover that at some point in time in the future, so just make sure you're subscribed. All right, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go ahead and do a sudo dnf update, and I do know that I am signed in as root and using sudo, but I am just showing what sudo because not everybody signs in this way. Now, if you are signed in as root, you do not need to use sudo, just an FYI, but other distributions give you an error, but Rocky Linux is not. So we are okay there. All right, we're gonna let it do its thing. We got just a few upgrades to run, updates to run here, and that has already been completed. We're gonna clear that out. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do now is going to be, we're going to make an adjustment to a file here. Now, this file only needs to be updated if you migrated from, not that one, sorry, if you migrated from CentOS 7. Otherwise, you don't need to do this. Oh, sorry, we don't have Vim. We're going to use Vim. You're just going to use your text editor of choice. I'm going to be using Vim. You can, you can use Vim, you can use Nano, whatever works for you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this line since I'm using V. So for V and Vim, you can go ahead and just do DD to get rid of that line. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do WQ. Then we're going to do exclamation point to go ahead and say, hey, we want you to write and quit, but with authority, and I don't care what the consequences are. So there we go. We've got that updated. Now we need to go ahead and set some environment variables. Now, these environment variables, they're going to allow us to get the Rocky Linux 9 packages as, and then it's going to, we're going to basically set those packages as, those packages and locations as variables, and we're going to go ahead and install those packages. So that right there is the overall overarching repo. That's this URL here, and then we're going to go ahead and get some specific packages from that link, and I'll kind of explain a little bit more about that link here in just a second. All right, so this one right here is the repo URL. So now, if you're watching this video in the future, it may be on a different version than 9.4. So just keep that in mind. But that doesn't mean this video is not still useful for your purposes. So what we want to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and check the link. I'll put it in the show notes down below. And then you'll want to go ahead and identify these 3 packages right here. All right, we're going to go ahead and do Rocky, TAC GPG, TAC keys, 9.4, all this other stuff, Rocky release, and then Rocky repos. And then you'll just plug them in the same spots that you saw me do it in the previous screen. And we can go back to that, which is those 3 right there. Those will end up changing. All right, now the next thing that we need to do is we need to go ahead and get these packages installed. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and do this with sudo dnf install, and we're going to go ahead and put those right there. That is the link right there. Let's go ahead and hit enter. It's going to take just a minute here. I should have put a TAC Y on there to allow us to do that automatically. And there we go. We've got those installed. Now we need to remove a specific file. And that's going to be the Red Hat logos file because it will stop the upgrade. So we're going to do that. We're going to run this command right here, sudo rm tac rf slash user slash share slash Red Hat logos. So we're just basically saying, hey, remove this, but remove it, like forcefully remove it. Don't prompt us or anything like that. That's what the F stands for. R stands for recursive because we are going within multiple directories. So let's go ahead and do that. We're not deleting the entire directories. We're just deleting the that particular file. All right, perfect. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and do the actual upgrade. Now, one of the things that I'm going to tell you right now is the first time it's going to fail. Is it's actually going to fail because there's going to be some package issues that we're going to need to sort out once we actually get there. So that's why I'm not really focusing too much on the command now. But once we actually get to that error, I'll show you how to clear it. And this is the best way you'll want to do it because, you know, say in the future you may get down there and this error may be fixed or maybe gone. So just keep that in mind. And I always appreciate videos that would kind of give me potential errors and stuff like that. So I really try to include those if I can because I really want to make this as complete of a guide as I possibly can. Now just keep in mind that I can't think of every possible scenario. I am not ChatGPT. I could probably ask ChatGPT to come up with a bunch of them, but that would just take forever. So we're not gonna do that. But let's let it finish its thing here. You're gonna see there right here. See error. It says error transaction test error, and GNU Make is one of them, and IP tables is the other package. Now keep in mind that I do know like GNU Make is probably not as big, but you know IP messing with IP tables. Big thing. That's like firewall stuff. So, you know, you'll want to be cautious if there's some kind of issues with yours. You may need to look at the documentation a little bit closer, or maybe even try to like reach out to the forums on Rocky Linux if you have any concerns about like this. But I'm gonna go ahead and proceed because this is not something that I really have impact on my system. But this is again why we also back it up, right? We want to make sure everything's backed up just in case something goes haywire, that you have those backup configurations. So let's go ahead and clear this error. So it's actually pretty easy to clear this. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a single command, sudo dnf clean packages. We're just going to clear out those 599 we already started. Then we're going to use this command right here. Put it in here. Make sure you can still see that. Yep, you still can see that. And I know my head cut off a little bit of this right here, but I'm going to go ahead and just take that off for just a second. You can see that right there if you were curious what the whole package name was. So there you go. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to remove these two. You don't have to use Yum. You can use DNF. I'm just using Yum because when I started this, it was CentOS. So it's still a... it links to DNF, so we're good there. You're going to remove the IP tables, E-tables, and make devel. So we can go ahead, and what's going to happen is once we make the updates and stuff, everything should go back. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and run the upgrade command again. And basically all we're doing with this command when we upgrade, I'm going to clear this out so you can see everything. You know, is we're just saying like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and update. We accept everything, and you know, we're going to release 9, and all that good stuff. So I'm not gonna get into everything else because it really isn't super important. But we do need to put a C on the end of that, right there. So that's the command right there. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hit enter. And then we're gonna see it kind of start the same way, but we see that there's 3 less packages. And then what you're gonna do is once it gets down to 596, you're gonna start seeing it doing more things with the system. So that's how we know that it's going to work. You guys have already seen this part, so I'm not going to sit here and cover like have us watch this. I'm going to go ahead and just pause it once everything kind of starts finishing up. I'll go ahead and come back. All right, and it is finishing the last bits and pieces that it needs to go ahead and get everything going. So let's go ahead, and I think it should be finishing up here in just a second. We can see that it's got 1140 of 1140 done. So we're just going to let it take its time. Sometimes it goes faster than other times. You know, it's got a lot going on, so let's give it just another moment here. You can see that it's still slowly moving. Every time I do this, sometimes it's like super fast and then sometimes it goes slow. It just depends on how the virtual machine's feeling. So there we go. There we go. We can see it moving faster again. There we go. And complete. Awesome job. All right. Awesomeness. Awesome sauce. All right. So let's go ahead and run one more command. Then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to do a reboot. And what we're going to do is there should be no space here. We're going to rebuild the RPM database. So we're going to just do this. Whoops. Oops. Oh, whoops. It's because we need, there we go. We need two tacks there instead of a single long one. There we go. And there we go. Sorry about that. We had to, I didn't realize it looks like it was the autocorrect on my word processor. So there we go. Now what we need to do is we just need to do a sudo reboot. Now what I'll need to do is I'll need to go ahead and I got to pause the video again here because what it likes to do is it likes to change the IP address when I do upgrades. So I'm going to go ahead and just pause it here and get that new IP address. All right, we are back. All right, so it took a little bit longer than I anticipated. It did, as I suspected, was going to change the IP address. So let's go ahead and confirm that we have upgraded. And boom, we can see right there that we have successfully updated from 8.9 to 9.4. That is a pretty awesome thing. In the last two videos, we went from, CentOS 7 all the way to Rocky Linux 9.4. So that's amazing, right? Now that you're on the most up-to-date version of Rocky Linux, check out this other video from my channel. Remember, mistakes make you better, so keep on making them. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have the greatest of days.